Hello there, I'm Joe Ruggiero, and welcome to my podcast, Inspired, and the people who inspire me. Now, you're probably wondering why I have gone off the 4 or 5 pillars that I usually talk about. But I believe that faith is so important in this troubled world we're living in right now that it doesn't hurt. That's my New York accent coming through. And I believe that this lady, who's affectionately known as Church Lady, who gives a Bible study group, is the one to lead us in the direction that she takes. And I must admit, I've been to a couple of her sessions. She is not a preacher. She is not trying to sell a religion. But she wants to express a lot of things, one of which is the power of positive thinking, which I admire very much. But I believe that Dee Ann Lee has given me so much inspiration that I feel that it was fate that brought us together. And I mean that sincerely. And I want you to listen to her rationality about how she winded up here, how she learned about what a podcast can do, but also the great words that she has imparted to all of us listeners, to what she has to say. So I don't want to give it a title, but I want you to express what you're going through with your revelation, with your, you can call it epiphany, about what your role is in life, and to the people who listen to you.
The role in my life started a long time ago, inch by inch by inch. It didn't come all at once. But I've been in different Bible studies over the years, kind of, quote unquote, worked my way up through to the point where I could teach a pretty good sized group as well, if they wanted to come. That was the idea. Just to invite people in. There's so many people that don't know God, whatever their faith, whatever the base of their faith is, it's still a faith in God. And we need to be reminded of that, because we go through times where it's rough, it's scary perhaps to some people when they come into a new place to live and they're a little bit worried about it. You just need to have that, I need to have that pole holding me straight up. Because without it, I'm not as effective.
I think that you're impressed, too, by the caregivers that we have.
Oh, yeah.
That they really, this younger generation, really care. And I think that that is something that should be nurtured, because there are a lot of people in this world that don't give a damn and don't care. And I believe that there's words of wisdom that you can express. I've seen you go up to a complete stranger and win friends, and make friends. And I don't know, because you were a shy kid, how that evolved.
Extremely shy child, extremely shy. Yeah, I just wasn't comfortable ever outside of my own skin. But I find a great deal of joy going up to people and talking to them, especially if they're sitting alone in where we live. Just to be there, just to give them somebody they can talk to and they're comfortable talking to someone. Maybe it opens it up then for them to meet somebody else and have conversations start there too. But I think it's the good Lord that blesses us with whatever things that He gives us to bless us with. I didn't put that very well, but we've each got a job to do here. And we need to look and see what is that job for you? What is that job for me? What is that job for the person next to you? Once I discovered that I should have a job, I'm going to say I soared, but it wasn't me who soared. It's my faith is soaring as opposed to just me. It's not about me. I'm not a young person anymore, and there's a lot of people around me that are not young as well either. And I think having the having people around us, having the Lord's presence somehow, however you believe in God, to have that around is good at times when you're scared what's going to happen. You're worried about this. Maybe someone else has got something else and they're worried about it too. I want to let them to just be still and know that He is God.
Well, I think that someone asked me, why are you the lonely man at the table? Now, I have a lot of man friends.
Yeah.
But I love women. There's nothing wrong with that. And I love to hear what they have to say. I think it's very interesting that you sort of talk among yourselves, and yet some of the great, and I'm in a reflection period now, when I look back in my life, some of the great friends that I've had have been women, and have taught me a lot. There are a lot of men that have taught me a lot, my father being on the top of the list. But I love to hear the discussion. Many of you have been married a couple of times. Some of you have been alone, widows. And some people can deal with it, and some women cannot deal with it, that they've lost their mate. And I dread the day that we're either going to lose each other, but it's inevitable, and I welcome it. But you too have had this revelation about why you have become so sensitive to people's feelings and our feelings collectively, the world, with what's going on in the world.
Like I said before, you have to bloom where you're planted. You can come into some place and it can be a little bit nerve-wracking or scary or uncomfortable, to say the least. Bloom there. Figure out a way to bloom where you are, to grow up into a beautiful flower, if you will, and be positive about it. Without the positivity, we get nervous. I get nervous if I didn't have the positivity. Have the positivity, have the joy, have the freedom to know that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the people around you as much as it is whoever your God is, but it's also the people around you.
Well, I think that that's such a great idea, because my wife has always said, God puts you where you need to be. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. And they're like, well, what am I doing here? Or how did I wind up here? And they obsess about it. They blame themselves. And I don't think there's anyone to blame. I think there's a reason being. Put your ear to the ground and find out what you can contribute. And that is in all kinds of talents, whether you're a great singer, a great piano player, or a great cook, or a great conversationalist. Use it.
I totally agree with that. So often we're too quiet. Well, I don't want to share that with anybody because I don't want to bother anyone. Well, you're not bothering. You're actually putting them in a place where they can think, oh, I guess I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it gets them started on thinking outside themselves and going to other people, you've seen me many, many times go to different people and sit down and talk with them. I don't know them or didn't before, but I like to talk to them, make sure they're comfortable.
And you make people feel welcome, feel good. My kids have often said to me, what can we do? What can we do in life? And I've got 3 great kids, one of which is deceased. But one is a financial planner. She's helping. One is a cookbook author and a cook. She's inspiring. And my son was a hopeless alcoholic until he recovered, and recovered a lot of people, helped them recover, and helped many, many people. And I'm so proud of he who is left a widow and 2 children, because they have grown to understand what he gave. And he was a guy who loved children. It hurts me to think that he can't enjoy these boys, but hopefully he's able to see what they have grown into and that will continue to grow into. Great kids.
Well, that also bends into the idea that we can be an admiration, we can be an inspiration for other people, even when we're going through those hard times. Maybe we have drinking problems, maybe we have whatever kind of other problems. It doesn't stop us from being ourselves as we help other people or as we lift other people up, make them happy, make them satisfied with where they are, what they're doing. We need to be comfortable in our own shoes.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of people who say to themselves, what can I do? I'm not really helpful, but they may be a great artist. They may contribute to just looking at art that they have created, and for someone to say, I'm really moved by those flowers or whatever it is, or a photographer. I see you snapping pictures wherever you go, and it's inspiring to see what you see. And that, to me, is a gift.
Well, plus the fact you can get 10 people together and they're going to see 10 different things.
Right.
Each their own idea of what they're looking at, type of thing. And it's taking them outside of themselves and into a bigger environment, if you will.
That's why I always loved Rorschach tests.
Yeah.
Because, ink blots or tea leaves, the people that were able to interpret that into something, and I'm fascinated by numerology. And I didn't know anything about it. Maybe a year ago. But since my son's deceased, he communicates via numbers. And I believe that. People are going to think I'm nuts, but I do believe it.
But you've seen a difference in your own personality or your own, being the father of having lost a son.
Absolutely.
And yet there are positives in that. I have lost a daughter, as you know, as well. And yes, it hurts to lose your child, even when they're not children anymore. It hurts to lose, but you remember the good things. You remember the laughter. You remember the things you did together. It still lifts us up. And so many people think, yeah, but I lost my son or my daughter or whatever, and they're still uncomfortable with that. They have to know that we're here at the beginning when we're born and we're gone after that. But look what a life they left us. Look how they blessed us along the way, just by being who they are.
I was talking to a woman who lost her husband and lost her father. And she happened to be present when they expired. And she said, what gave me such compassion or feeling, or I guess she closed that chapter, was they were both smiling when they left this world. So she never knew whether or not someone was greeting them on the other side or what it was, but it gave her such belief that they were smiling when they left us.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And I saw a comedian the other night who said, well, it sounds like a library book that's been expired, but I guess it's a good enough term to refer to a person leaving this world, but he didn't like the idea of the association with you're 2 weeks late or something.
That might hurt a little bit,
Right.
yes. We're all facing these things from time to time. We know people who are facing these kinds of issues where we lose a friend, lose a family member, whatever it is. I mean,
Right.
I've got a whole list of people that I've lost, both my parents and one child and just other people too, friends. It's hard, but you have to make peace with it.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise it's going to be itching you in the back of your head thinking, I don't want to be that down person. I want to be the person that I had this friend for however many years and she's gone now, but what a great friend she was. Keep it positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why when you tell me, remember the good times, remember the moments you shared. I posted a picture today to my grandson. That's a picture of he with his uncle that who he lost, and my son's son, which would make him his cousin.
Yeah.
And I said, think of the wonderful memories we all shared. And he's only 14 years old, but he understands what I'm getting at. And he'll write back, thanks, Pop. I do remember those times, or whatever. And I think that that is what we need to dwell on. We have those to live by.
Yes, that's what keeps us going. A lot
That's
of
right.
what keeps us going. Just remembering those good times. And yeah, I remember this, and it's kind of a little bit of a sad thing, but on the other hand, look what they did later, or look what they did at this particular time. Maybe a funny joke, maybe being just a fun person, maybe being a real giving person, whatever they are. Concentrate on those things. Be glad that he was in your life.
Right. Well, I know that you know this guy who used to call you church lady, and he didn't believe in any higher power. But the two of you mustered a laugh from it. And he had a good sense of humor, too. And I just wonder what your technique was to get him to giggle or to laugh. Or
He was easy to get to laugh, actually. He would not smile and laugh necessarily, but I could see him laughing, actually, anyway.
Well,
and
it took you to dig a little to get it, which is a talent.
I don't think I shared this with you, but he had a sweatshirt that he gave me also.
No.
Yeah, and it says something about you didn't, your English was not spelled right or something like that, something goofy. And that was who he was. He was a goofy, fun person.
Yeah.
And I don't want to wear that sweatshirt because I don't want other people seeing it and thinking of him and being sad.
Right.
But if they can be happy, I'd love to wear it. I mean, it's definitely oversized for me, but he brings a spark into my heart.
Right.
He was a good man. I think ultimately he was a good man.
I think he was. But he was, some people would say he was a curmudgeon, but I don't think he was. I think he was honest, and he had a whole wardrobe of fun T-shirts that he would bring out.
Yes. But that's part of the fun. That's part of who he was.
Yeah.
That was kind of like his stamp, if you will, on the world.
Well, the other thing, too, is I've noticed that there's a lady who travels with her dog. The dog is very important to her. And this dog is not, what do they call them when it's a pet that gives you?
Yeah, service dog.
A service dog. She doesn't have papers. He isn't a service dog. He's a little tiny dog. But whenever someone brings her to the dining room, she always insists on the dog coming. The dog does not have to stay because they're not allowed in the dining room, but she feels better that the dog walked her there, and then the dog is cared for in her apartment. But she feels better that the dog accompanies her to the dining room. What does that mean?
Well, how special is that to her that somebody else, another person, would bring that dog for her?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a loving way of being with somebody. They're hurting right now. Bring the dog in, let her pat the dog a little bit, and then she'll at least be a little bit happier until she gets back to the dog.
Right. And there's nothing about that. Like a smile doesn't cost you anything. Caring for somebody doesn't cost you anything.
No.
But it makes the person, the recipient, encouraged or happy.
It's a happy thing that they bring. When you bring a smile, when you bring a laugh, when you bring a chuckle, a joke, whatever you have, it lightens up the whole atmosphere around you.
Right.
And let go of those other little things that are not so easy to deal with, but those are going to go away. And they're going to be substituted by these other things that people do for them, or that they see a flower they've never seen before and this is a beautiful one, whatever it takes. You just need to look at the bright side of things. The sun is shining today. It's beautiful. Will it shine tomorrow? I don't know, probably. But at least it's shining today. And it should be shining in our life every day, even if it's raining outside.
Right. And not to sound like Pollyanna, but you have an ability to bring the good things out. And I think in your lectures, and they're not really lectures and they're not preaching, but they make people think inside their own body. And I know an amazing group of people who can't hear you and aren't really cognitive in terms of their thinking, but they respect you. How do you build that?
The whole idea, when I came into where I'm living now, the whole first question I had was, can I start a Bible study here? I hadn't even paid the money to get into it yet, but I wanted to know. And they said, absolutely, sure, that's fine. Because it's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring my faith into this place for anybody who would like to come and see it or hear it. It's not a forced thing. It's just something I've been teaching for many years. Different groups. This group has been more challenging because they're diverse. So how do you reach all of them at their own places? That's been a challenge for me, but I try and keep it up. I try and keep it within what they can understand. Some of them can't either hear or they can't understand what's being said. It's a challenge for me, but somehow or other the good Lord's given me that challenge.
But you touch them.
I mean,
you
so.
can, they hear you, even though they can't hear.
They do. I don't know how they do it, but they do.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting, to say the least, but it's also a job, if you will, that I don't consider a job. I'm concerned more about what am I going to do this week, because I can't keep going through the Bible chapter by chapter. They're not ready for that. So I try and center it on this verse and that verse. Let's talk about those.
Well, I think one thing that is encouraging to me is that most of the times when I bring you to this podcast, you say, I don't know why you're doing this. I don't understand what you are learning by bringing me here. But I think for the first time, I think it's starting to sink in. You inspire me. It's as simple as that. I love talking to you.
Well, I like talking to you too, because you inspire. We inspire in different ways.
Yeah.
We inspire the ways we're enabled to do. I like to bring joy into a room, and so do you. I know you do.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do. And
I thought you were going to give me a sorry, but I'm not going to make today, because when I asked you to join me, you were like, well, I don't understand why you keep bringing me back. But I think this is a time in the world where we need faith, we need support, we need justification for what we are doing, whether it be a coal miner or whether it be a fine chef. I think we need that encouragement. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, and that kind of falls back onto an experience I had recently, that there's more for me to be doing, and it's writing. Because I do like to write anyway, but it's maybe if I put it in book form or whatever kind of form, I don't know what. This might sound very strange to a lot of people, but there was a time when I was not feeling very well, and I was in a place where I'm trying to pick up some food so I can take it back to my room, that kind of thing, but I'm just standing there. And across from where I was standing, there was a foursome, 3 men and a woman, and the woman was up and she was talking. I don't know if she was talking loud or not. I don't know. But I wanted to go over and say something to her because her language was very uncouth, if you will. But instead, I thought, it's not my I can't go over and talk to her. I don't know who she is. I don't know who the people are around her. I don't know. It's not my job. So I'm still leaning against that wall behind me. And the word came up, pray. And I thought,
Was this on the T-shirt of the gentleman that came
Nope.
walking through?
nope. It was like written in front of me, pray. So I did. But I've never had that happen before. I mean, it didn't come from anybody else. It wasn't whispered into my ear. It came from above, is what I think. And I did pray. And now I'm thinking, I guess when I see something that someone is really having a problem with, or they're angry, or whatever the difficulty is, pray over it.
Was this a person that you saw after that
I
time?
didn't see her after that. I've never seen her before or since, that kind of thing. But the language was wrong, and I thought, I mean, for me, I'm kind of goofy that way, but the language was just wrong. And I thought, well, it's none of my business to go over and tell her what to do. She's an adult.
Well, this is something that I learned from my father-in-law, and he was a very devout guy. He was engaged to a famous movie star, but who will remain nameless. But he always would say, "Pray for me." And at first I thought that was kind of strange. But then I thought, good gosh, that's great.
Yes.
Because it's extra faith in you by an outside person who's speaking to someone who has a lot of power.
Yeah, true.
But I never, and my wife always says that it touched her because it was her father who always said, "Pray for me." And I think that's a wonderful thing.
I've read through the Bible about 3 times, and one of the things that stands out in my mind is pray without ceasing. It's a verse in there. Pray without ceasing. Don't stop praying. It's my phone.
Well, we are at a country club, and we are very happy that they allow us to do this. But there will become some ambient noise, but we just let that go.
But just let that go. Thank you. That was nicely said. Anyway, that's what I want to do. I think what I'm being led to do is to write.
And I think that's great that you had that revelation, because you haven't thought of that before. No. I've been looking for good writers to tell many stories. I love to read.
Well, give me a shot if you want to, whenever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do like to write.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. Now, do you have any siblings that like to write as well, or did your parents?
No, my dad was an avid reader of books. My mom was not. My brother is not. That's just my family.
Did you have a good English teacher or a journalism teacher?
It just came. Just came.
Yeah.
I'm good with letters, not with numbers. So don't give me a problem with numbers in it, because I can't do those, but I can do the writing.
I'll remember that.
Yes, please do.
Is there anything that you want to impart to our listeners before we leave this wonderful session?
I guess don't give up. Don't give up your faith. Don't give up your way of living unless you need to change it for the better.
That's good advice, and I think Winston Churchill said something very, very much during the war, is keep it up.
Keep it up.
Fighting. Keep fighting.
Yeah. It's too easy to give it up.
Right.
And that's not going to lead us to any good place.
And there are people who do give it up.
I know.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily the happy people.
No.
We'd kind of like to have more happy people around, but it's personal. It's what they're exposed to. I can do that.
I remember clearly the song from The Wiz that the fairy godmother says to Dorothy and sings. And, of course, Lena Horne has a beautiful rendition of it. And it's basically believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the feeling that's inside your heart. Believe in yourself not because I told you to, but believe in yourself as I believe in you.
That's
Powerful.
beautiful.
Powerful. Thank you so much.
I thank you.
Love having you on.
It's been nice being here again. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.